Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to write on water. Okay, so in order to do this trick, all you pores, you need a dry erase marker and some water. So first draw what you want to transfer onto the water. The guy holding a balloon. Then you let it dry, then carefully pour some water. There he goes. The balloon's taking him up. Whoa. Whoa. He's shaking that balloon. That's pretty cool. Oh, his balloon broke. Okay, so it works. The warmer water you have, the better it works. See how it pops it up and it floats on top of the water? Goes. You can even pick it up. It's quite cool. So the reason this is happening is because the main ingredients in dry erase markers are alcohol and a release agent that is made of silicone oils. And when you write on the glass surface, the alcohol evaporates and it leaves behind just the ink with the release agent in it. And the water repels the silicone oil. And so the silicone is less dense than water, and so the water can slide right under the silicone oil, and then it just floats to the top. And so the ink and the silicone oil stay together in the same layer, and the water just slides under it, and you can move it around on top of the water. So what's really cool about this is that using this method, you can transfer it onto your hand or transfer it onto your skin. So for example, see? Now he's on my hand. That's cool. So what's cool is you can also erase things off the water, and you do that by grabbing it and pulling it up as a string, and it looks like it's back tracing, erasing the marker off of the water. It's really neat. Okay, watch it come out in one string now, hopefully. Whoa, look at those lines getting drawn in. Oh, almost. So cool. It's like it's erasing it off the water. And then this is what I'm left with. So you can crumble it up and see that whole thing is reduced to this tiny amount of volume. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the Action Lab. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed yet, remember to hit that subscribe button, and you can be notified when my latest video comes out by hitting the bell button. And if you have any questions about this video or any suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comments.
the student. They wake up a bit slower than the 1+5. This young male is late for his 9 a.m. again. Fortunately, his phone gets a day's power in half an hour. He captures notes with the telephoto lens to get back to more important things. Here, he uses a portrait mode to snap a fellow student. He could use a 16-megapixel front camera to say hi to his friends back home. He makes excellent use of the expanded screenshot when a love rival threatens his dominance. He will use this to boast about winning the confrontation with his friends. The 1+5 can suit any style he can think of, even if he goes commando. Oh dear, it looks like someone can't get it in. Thanks to the screen-off gesture, the party can start. Not quite yet.
Alright, today I'm going to be putting marshmallows in my new vacuum chamber. Okay, so what should happen here is because there's a lot of air in marshmallows, as soon as I start sucking the air out of the chamber, the marshmallow should expand because the air pressure inside the marshmallow will make it expand. But then once all the air has been sucked out of the marshmallow, it'll just kind of stay there. But let's put them in my Okay, I've got all my marshmallows loaded in. Let's turn on the vacuum pump and see what happens. Okay, the pressure's decreasing in there. See if it looks like they're getting any bigger. Oh yeah, they're starting to get bigger.
Are they gonna explode?
There they go. Oh, look how big they're getting. They're gonna fill up the whole chamber. Oh, okay, that's as big as they got, so now the air has gotten out of them. So what's happened is they equilibrated with the vacuum, so now there's a vacuum inside the marshmallows. They stopped expanding. Okay, now we got a low vacuum in our marshmallows. Very low air pressure. Okay, now I'm gonna open the air valve and let in some air pressure. See what happens to our marshmallows. Look how small they're getting. Whoa, those just shrunk. Look at that. Look at the marshmallows. Okay, let's pull them out. Whoa, that's cool. Okay, so here's our marshmallows. We made marshmallow raisins. Look how cool that is. So the reason they're getting crushed like that is because there's a vacuum inside of them, and so the air pressure around it is just crushing them all right now. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of Hydraulic Press Action. If you enjoyed Alright, today I'm going to be putting eggs in my vacuum chamber. And then I'm going to be crushing them in my hydraulic press so you can decide what you like better. Eggs in a vacuum or eggs in a hydraulic press. So you might think, why would you need a hydraulic press to crush eggs? Try it, it's hard to crush that way. So if you just put an egg in the vacuum chamber, chances are not much is going to happen because there's no gases inside of the egg, and so there's nothing to expand, so it's just gonna sit there. To be sure though, I'm gonna put one egg in that doesn't have a hole in it, and the rest of the eggs I'm gonna put in that do have holes in it, a pinhole poked in the top, and we're gonna see what happens to each of them. Okay, so this middle one does not have a hole poked in it. All the ones around it do. So let's see if this one holds up, and let's see what happens to the other eggs. Okay, eggs in a vacuum chamber. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I can already see some liquid coming out of one egg. That one back there, look at the egg coming out of it. Okay, we're at negative 0.75 atmospheres. Okay, I've now cracked the eggs open, so now there should be some action happening. Okay, eggs out of their shell in a vacuum chamber. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I see the bubbles getting bigger. Not much happening yet. Okay, so there we go. Finally started boiling. The chamber's fogging up, so I had to move the camera position, but you can see the eggs boiling, but they're not cooking. Isn't that amazing? So you can see, even though our eggs were boiling, they did not cook. So things can boil without being hot enough to cook it. Okay, eggs in a hydraulic press. 3, 2, 1. There goes the yolk. How many pieces will those shells be in afterwards?
Yes, ma'am. It's up here whenever I told Cody to bring it down.
Right, there's eggs in a hydraulic press. Today I'm going to be putting a fly and a spider in my vacuum chamber. So this guy put living things in the vacuum chamber, including putting myself in the vacuum chamber, but I decided to use a fly instead. So we already know that he's not going to be able to fly in the vacuum chamber, but what I want to test is how does his exoskeleton hold up. So once we reduce the pressure in the vacuum chamber, I want to see if his exoskeleton holds up enough to not make him explode. He might live through this, he might not. He already isn't flying much, so he's not looking too good before I put him in the vacuum chamber anyways. Okay, fly in a vacuum chamber. 3, 2, 1.
I don't know. It's exactly what I'm doing. I should have known.
Get the fuck out. Close my door.
We're at about 0.2 atmospheres. just fine. We're almost at a full vacuum and he's just fine. Okay, so we're at full vacuum. He didn't explode. I think now it's due to lack of air. See if he's okay. Looks like he's all right. So I did it quick because he would have eventually died due to lack of oxygen, but it looks like a fly has a strong enough exoskeleton that he won't die just from exploding in a vacuum chamber. So this would not be the same result if I were to put something in there that didn't have an exoskeleton, like a mammal or something, but I'm not gonna do that, sorry. And for all the animal rights activists who think that I'm abusing flies, I'm gonna let this little guy go. See a fly, have a happy life. Go tell your friends. Oh, he flew away, he's fine. Okay, spider in a vacuum chamber. 3, 2, 1. We're at about 0.4 atmospheres.
Damn it. He's like,
We're at 0.1 atmospheres and he's still moving. So I'm gonna let in the air before he runs out of oxygen in his system. But we're about at full vacuum and he's fine. So if I left it going, he's going to die because he doesn't have any oxygen. But it looks like just the pressure differential doesn't kill him at all. He's still moving. So how about we let in some air and then free him into the wild. Okay.
when that bass drops.
Let in some air slowly. Okay, well, since he survived my vacuum chamber, I will release him into the wild instead of squishing him. Okay, he did survive the vacuum chamber, so he deserves to be released. Go catch some flies. Maybe he'll catch the fly I released earlier.